From translation, TLB, the Living Bible. This 33rd day of the year. Today we are reading passages Leviticus 5 to 7. Leviticus chapter 5, verses 1 to 19. If a person sins by refusing to testify when he knows of a friend's crime, he must accept the punishment for his sin. Or if anyone touches anything ritually unclean, whether it be the carcass of an unclean wild animal, or a cow, or a sheep, or a rat, or any other animal that is unclean, he will be defiled and guilty even though he didn't know it. But after he learns about it, he will be guilty. Or if anyone touches any human uncleanness, a defiling discharge from the body or a ceremonial uncleanness, and then, without being aware of it, touches something else, he will become guilty. Or if anyone makes a thoughtless vow, speaking without thinking, whether it concerns doing good or evil, or whether it involves a commitment to do something or not to do something, he will be guilty when he becomes aware of his thoughtlessness. When he realizes his guilt in any of these cases, he must confess his sin and bring his guilt offering as prescribed for each case. He must bring a female lamb or a goat to the Lord as a guilt offering. The priest will offer it to make atonement for his sins, and he will be forgiven. If he cannot afford a lamb, he may bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the Lord as his offering, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. The priest will offer them to make atonement for him, and he will be forgiven. But if he cannot afford even 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, he may bring 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour for a sin offering. He must not put any oil on it or any incense, for it is a sin offering. Then the priest shall take some of the flour as a memorial portion, and burn it on the altar as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. The rest of the flour belongs to the priest, just as with the grain offering. In this way the priest will make atonement for him for any of these things he did that made him guilty, and he will be forgiven. If, however, he cannot afford a lamb or 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, he is to bring 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a sin offering. He must not put olive oil on it or place any incense on it, for it is a sin offering. He is to bring it to the priest, who shall take a handful of it as a memorial portion, and burn it on the altar as an offering made by fire, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. The rest of the flour belongs to the priest, like the grain offering. The priest shall make atonement for him for any of these sins he has committed, and he will be forgiven. The rest will be the priest's, like the grain offering. The Lord said to Moses, "If anyone sins by unthinkingly doing something against any of the Lord's holy commands, he is guilty and must confess the sin he has committed. He must make full payment for his sin, adding 1/5 to it and giving it all to the priest. The priest will then offer a ram as a guilt offering to make atonement for him before the Lord, and he will be forgiven for any of the holy things he desecrated. The priest will make atonement with the ram as a guilt offering, and he will be forgiven for whatever he did to make himself guilty. If anyone sins by doing any of the things the Lord has forbidden, even though he didn't know it, he is still guilty and shall be punished for his sin. He shall bring a ram as a guilt offering to the priest. The priest will make atonement for him for his unintentional sin, which he committed without knowing it, and he will be forgiven. It is a guilt offering. He was certainly guilty before the Lord." Leviticus chapter 6, verses 1 to 7. The Lord said to Moses, "If anyone sins by cheating his neighbor, or by lying about something entrusted to him, or by robbing him, or by finding something lost and keeping it, or by cheating him by any such means, or if he has sworn to do something and then refuses to do it, if he has lied about something he saw or knew about and has denied it under oath, or if he has cheated or robbed his neighbor, or if he has found something lost and kept it for himself, or if he has cheated anyone by any such means, he must return what he took, or its equivalent, and add 1/5 to it as a penalty. Then he must bring his guilt offering to the Lord, and the priest will make atonement for him before the Lord, and he will be forgiven for whatever he did to make himself guilty." The Lord said to Moses, "If anyone sins by breaking the commandments of the Lord in any way, even though he didn't know it is forbidden, he is still guilty and must be punished for his sin. He must bring a ram to the priest as a guilt offering. The priest will make atonement for him before the Lord for his unintentional sin, which he committed without knowing it, and he will be forgiven." The Lord said to Moses, "Command Aaron and his sons, saying, 'This is the law of the burnt offering. The burnt offering shall be on the hearth upon the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar shall be kept burning on it. The fire shall be kept burning on the altar continually. It shall not go out.'" Leviticus chapter 7, verses 1 to 38. These are the laws concerning the guilt offering. It is most holy. The guilt offering is to be slaughtered in the place where the burnt offering is slaughtered, and its blood is to be sprinkled against the altar on all sides. All of its fat is to be offered. The fat tail, the fat that covers the inner parts, all the fat on the inner parts, the 2 kidneys with the fat on them near the loins, and the covering of the liver, which is to be removed with the kidneys. The priest shall burn them on the altar as an offering made by fire to the Lord. It is a guilt offering. The priest who offers any man's guilt offering shall eat it. He shall eat it in the holy place, in the court of the tent of meeting. Any male in a priestly family may eat it. It is most holy. The guilt offering is the same as the sin offering. Both belong to the priest. It is most holy. The priest who offers a burnt offering for anyone may keep the skin of the burnt offering for himself. Every grain offering baked in an oven or cooked in a pan or on a griddle belongs to the priest who offers it. Every grain offering, whether mixed with oil or dry, belongs to all the sons of Aaron equally. These are the regulations for the fellowship offering that you are to present to the Lord. If you offer it as an expression of thankfulness, then along with this thank offering you are to present choice flour mixed with olive oil. You are to present cakes made with yeast as a thank offering, along with your fellowship offering of animals. From the cakes you are to present a portion to the Lord as an offering. It belongs to the priest. The meat of your fellowship offering of thanksgiving must be eaten on the day it is offered. You must leave none of it till morning. If, however, you present an offering of a vow or a freewill offering, you must eat it on the day you present it, but whatever is left over may be eaten on the next day. However, any meat of the fellowship offering that is left over until the third day must be burned up. If any of the meat of the fellowship offering is eaten on the third day, the one who offered it will not be accepted by the Lord. You must not consider it as acceptable. It has become defiled. Anyone who eats some of the meat of a fellowship offering that has been brought to the Lord must be cut off from his people. Anyone who touches something unclean, whether human uncleanness or an unclean animal or any unclean detestable thing, and then eats any of the meat of the fellowship offering belonging to the Lord, must be cut off from his people. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, do not eat any of the fat of cattle, sheep, or goats. The fat of an animal found dead or torn by wild animals may be used for any other purpose, but you must not eat it. Anyone who eats the fat of an animal from which an offering by fire is made to the Lord must be cut off from his people. You must not eat the blood of any animal, whether wild or domestic. Anyone who eats blood must be cut off from his people. Anyone who eats blood will be cut off from his people." The Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, when you bring a fellowship offering to the Lord, present it so that the Lord will accept it. With your fellowship offering you are to present your offerings and sacrifices, but they will be accepted on your behalf. From the fellowship offering you are to bring a gift to the Lord. Present it to the priest from the fat parts of your fellowship offering. The priest shall burn the fat on the altar, but the breast is for Aaron and his sons. You are to give the right thigh of your fellowship offerings to the priest. The son or daughter of your father may eat the breast and the thigh, along with the gifts presented by the wave offering and the contributions presented by the heave offering. I have taken the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of the contribution from the Israelites, and given them to Aaron the priest and his sons as their regular share from the Israelites. This is the portion of the ordination offering that was presented to the Lord, given to Moses. It was for Aaron and his sons and their descendants. The Lord commanded Moses to give these instructions to the Israelites, and these are the regulations concerning the burnt offering, the grain offering, the sin offering, the guilt offering, the ordination offering, and the fellowship offering. These are the offerings made by fire that you are to present to the Lord: the burnt offering, the grain offering, the sin offering, the guilt offering, and the fellowship offering, along with their grain offerings and drink offerings. These are the regulations Moses gave for the burnt offering, the grain offering, the sin offering, the guilt offering, the ordination offering, and the fellowship offering, on Mount Sinai.